Welcome to 20 Questions. With us today is Professor Carol Gilligan from NYU, an American feminist and psychologist, and currently a visitor in Israel from the law school at the College of Management. Is it possible then that Israel is judged through the prism of female gender, being that Israel always has to look out for the ethics of care, as opposed to other countries in the region that might have been, accused of being more male-gendered?
I think that's it's a fascinating question. I think I understand. Well, we'll talk back and forth a bit, because are Jews gendered feminine? And I think that's true. The Jews, certainly prior to Israel, the Jews in the diaspora were separated from the kind of notion of masculinity. So is Israel, therefore, as a Jewish state, gendered feminine and therefore supposed to enact an ethic of care, and that anything of the claim to a kind of capacity, capability, power, or anything that's gendered masculine, it plays into certain, it's a fascinating question.
How do you think that the Arab Spring will affect women's rights?
Well, the Arab Spring, I think, was a real awakening for the world that thought that somehow democratic aspirations and values did not exist in the Arab world. And suddenly for, Arabs and young Arabs to call for we want a voice, we want freedom, we don't want this kind of tyranny, really reinforced the sense that these are basic human desires and values and capacities, and these are as true of Arabs as they are of people who are different. Okay. And I was very struck by, in at least the footage that I saw of Tahrir Squares, there were many, many women involved. And then I think that became an issue of contention of will women, in fact, who were very involved, and I know there were women doctors involved, and many of them spoke, and you could see it's basically it was a human movement, a call for democracy in a part of the world that was said to have no history or legacy of democracy. So what it really showed to someone who looks the way I look is these are human desires, and Arabs are humans, and it made that point. And so the question is, will it go back now? You'll see the tensions between democracy and patriarchy play out by watching what happens to the women.
This has been a short clip. To see the full excerpt, please see 20 Questions underneath the Jerusalem Post's Premium Zone.